Mother's Day restaurants are usually loud, chaotic, and packed with large families. But as this 19-year-old and her 70-year-old father slide into their dimly lit booth, the mood is quiet. They aren't there for the Sunday brunch specials or the celebratory mimosas. It's a standard, routine meal out, just a father and daughter spending time together. Then the man at the neighboring table leans over. Noting the father and daughter, he offers a quick, polite congratulations to the older man. His wife's reaction is immediate and loud. She snaps at her husband, scolding him for offering well wishes, when there clearly isn't a mother at the table to receive them. A passing pleasantry turns the shared restaurant booth into contested ground. The public space of a holiday carries strict, unwritten rules for the stranger, and she has decided this father and daughter are trespassing. The husband leaves the table for a moment, and the physical dynamic shifts. The woman slides across the dark leather upholstery and closes the distance between her and the 19-year-old. She opens with an interrogation. She demands to know their exact relationship, asking if she's a daughter or a granddaughter. The answer is straightforward. She is his daughter. That factual confirmation is all the stranger needs to launch for argument. She lectures the teen, insisting her father has zero right to accept any congratulations because the calendar says Mother's Day. He is claiming praise that belongs to someone else. Through all of this, the 70-year-old father sits quietly. His hearing isn't sharp enough to pick up the confrontation, leaving him completely insulated from the hostility happening inches away. This leaves the daughter trapped in an impossible position. She has to decide in real time whether to absorb the verbal blows to keep the dinner peaceful for her dad or engage with an unprovoked attacker. She tries the path of least resistance. She flashes an awkward, tight-lipped smile and immediately ducks her head back into the menu. The stranger ignores the social cue to disengage. She keeps pushing, repeating her lecture about holiday entitlement on a loop. Then comes the demand. The stranger insists the teenager force her elderly father to formally apologize for being congratulated. The polite social contract shatters. The daughter drops the awkward smile. She turns back to the woman and states a blunt, uncomfortable fact. She doesn't have a mother. Because of that, she tells the stranger, her dad shouldn't be apologizing. He should be proud of stepping up to be both a mother and a father to her. The stranger was busy policing the superficial boundaries of a greeting card holiday. She crashed headfirst into a young woman's lived reality of loss. The daughter takes her own private grief and uses it as a shield. It's a calculated strike meant to force the stranger to feel the weight of her intrusion. The tactic works instantly. The woman deflates, mumbling something under her breath as she physically shrinks back to her side of the heavy leather couch. She throws one last punch, muttering a snarky complaint that the teenager's rudeness has completely ruined her Mother's Day. The husband returns to the booth, and the neighboring couple quickly pays up and escapes the restaurant. The immediate threat is gone. The daughter successfully protected her father from the harassment, but the lingering tension guarantees that the quiet, comfortable dinner they came in for is effectively over. Later, the daughter runs the scenario past a friend, looking for reassurance. Instead, she gets a harsh critique. The friend argues that both parties were entirely out of bounds. The stranger was wrong to intrude, but the daughter was wrong in how she retaliated. According to the friend, the correct move was a firm, polite boundary. A simple request to mind her own business would have shut down the interaction. Dropping the trauma of a dead parent onto a busybody in a diner was an unnecessary, deeply disproportionate guilt trip. This animated scale illustrates the stark ethical clash. On one side, you have the absolute defense of a vulnerable parent. On the other, the expectation of social proportionality, the idea that even when attacked, you don't use the nuclear option if a polite dismissal will do. This critique destabilizes the entire memory of the night. The daughter walks away wondering if she wasn't actually the victim of an ambush, but the aggressor who escalated it. It asks us to consider whether a harsh emotional truth is always a justifiable weapon against an annoyance. You have to decide where the limits of empathy lie. When an entitled stranger crosses a line in public, does personal grief give you a free